Welcome back, people. We are on to the next part of our Let's Play in history. Got a good night's sleep, thank God, or a good morning sleep, technically. And today we're going to continue on with episode 4, so let's see how this goes. Poor Bentley. He's by himself, lonesome.
It took a sleepless week of data crunching, but I eventually tracked down the location of my friends, locked away in the mysterious towers of Prague. At the moment, they're the unwilling guests of Interpol's most renowned prison warden, the Contessa.
Evil
While
Spire Lady.
still a criminal psychology student, she entered into a whirlwind romance and married a wealthy aristocrat. Sadly, the union was short-lived, as the general suspiciously died a few weeks after the ceremony. The widowed Contessa put her education and newly acquired estate to work by opening a criminal rehabilitation center. Her pioneering use of hypnotherapy.
We're also going to talk about the election of 1848.
Subsequently earned her a prominent position within Interpol. My friends are locked up somewhere in the clinic and are slated for the Contessa's Good Samaritan brainwashing. If I don't bust them out soon, they'll be working a 9-to-5 job selling shoes, and I'll be out two best friends.
Okay. Poor Bentley. He's gonna be by himself. Do I have loot to sell? I do not. Alright, let's figure out what we are.
Contessa's house. Maybe I'll pick up a few leads on the location of Sly and Curry.
What do I need? Okay. Now let's go save my compadres. Okay, probably not that way. Where the heck am I supposed to go? Oh. Ah, this place is like a maze. Okay. Well, guys, let's talk about the election of 1848. The election is primarily going to be against Zachary Taylor with his running mate Millard Fillmore, and primarily Democratic candidate and nominee Lewis Cass with William Butler as his vice presidential candidate. Oh no. Oh no. Crap. Run. Good lord. Ugh. Let's ensure that they're down. Because I do not want to die. Running, 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 running. Oh, God. Where the heck am I supposed to go? Okay. God, she's getting up here is a pain in the booty.
Aha! The Contessa is out making her rounds. Wait a second. The feathers on my sleep darts vibrate near sounds. If I maintain my position on top of this parabolic dish, I should be able to hear that frequency.
Really? Interesting, Ben. Now, this election in particular is a very, very interesting election. I understand at this point the Whig Party is largely falling apart as a whole. Mainly because their one candidate... Where did she go? Oh. Mainly because their one prominent candidate at the time, Henry Clay, lost decisively, and Democrats had experienced relative prosperity as both in the federal government and statewide for the most part. A lot of them had been doing what they wanted to do. The successful presidency of James K. Polk, that being another specific indication of that. Dang it. Stop moving. Dang it.
That blasted Cooper guy. The fat one. What's his name? Murray. Yes, Murray. He'll be the first to break.
Whigs, out of desperation, decided that they were going to nominate Zachary Taylor as a Whig, who, in a lot of ways, is a very weird, complicated, and I would say pretty apolitical individual. Pretty much just a military man for most of his life, and didn't really have any particular political affiliations, but kind of like how they did with Eisenhower a little bit. They were like, hey, you should join this party, we'll give you this, we'll do that, yada, 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 and ultimately the Whigs ended up being able to get Zachary Taylor to be the presidential nominee, who was a war hero during the Mexican-American War, which basically was going to be someone who could hypothetically take away some Democrat votes, and also on top of that, be able to help consolidate the Whig Party behind a singular candidate again.
So they'll tell her where they stashed their loot. It dishonors both law enforcement and thieves at the same
Now, numerous things are happening. All these states are being admitted. What would be the Kansas-Nebraska Act following suit is going to be a big thing in this country, and a big issue in this country. And I'm dead. Of course. Do I lose money every time I die? Oh, perfect.
That computer is part of a control system for the electromagnetic train.
But the Whigs were able to nominate him. They nominated
I should be able to reverse their
if I'm going to be completely honest, a bit of a
into a giant
average, know-nothing, unopinionated Millard Fillmore as vice president, who basically should be controlled for the most part. I'm all tongue-tied here.
nothing like a good computer hack job.
Oh yeah, forgot about these mini games. I was wondering when we were going to be getting these.
Controlled by cyber avatar. I'll have to hack through these barrier nodes. I should move the right by using both analog sticks at the same time. I'll be able to move and shoot in different directions. That's one down. The train should be picking up speed.
Come on, don't die, Bentley. Not yet. Now, this was a bit of a complicated presidential election for numerous reasons, and specifically for numerous reasons for Democrats. First and foremost, James K. Polk, who was the president and won the election of 1844, had promised to only run for one term as president, despite his relative popularity and his belief in American exceptionalism and dominance and some ideals of manifest destiny, although I think that's more just not necessarily an excuse, but I personally just think it's a little bit more complicated than that. Regardless, because I personally just don't like James K. Polk for numerous different reasons. Bit of an authoritarian in my personal view, but then again, I might be a little biased. It's just the more I read about him and the more I tend to look at James K. Polk, I tend to just, because everyone keeps thinking he's an underrated president, and I'm just like, no, let's be honest, he started a war to get Texas as a territory, which is fine, but you know, he did it specifically under real
50%.
oh crap, I'm gonna get through there. I'm gonna wait for this train to go by real quick, because this train is fast, and specifically it kind of reminds me in a lot of ways is like how a lot of these wars tend to happen, which is basically just, oh, we're going to put our ships or we're going to put our men in a particularly dangerous situation, which will get a couple of them killed so that we can have justification for war, for expansion, or for financial gain, effectively. This is no different in my personal view. And I personally look at him much more negatively because he's really the first to truly do that. But regardless, he only runs for one term, does his thing, gives the Democrats a lot of popularity and support. But a couple things are also problematic for him and for the Democratic Party, because there's really no true successor for him, specifically, I would say. I'm going to guess we go down here. The obvious candidates are probably Lewis Cass, who would be the nominee, and then I believe his Secretary of State, and then James Buchanan, who was a part of his administration too. I forgot what he did, or was he a diplomat at this time? One of those two things. Both very, very politically savvy, with Buchanan in particular being one of the single most savvy politicians of his time and era. Lord. Those two are the two most popular nominees. And at the very least, it seemed like, barring something specific happening, it was going to be a Democrat win. Which is why I say which is why I say specifically the Whigs were incredibly desperate, were primarily because of this, because they were so dysfunctional and unable to actually gain anything, that and losing party support over time, because again, a lot of these individuals were hypocritical in a lot of ways. They couldn't decide on certain things. A lot of these people were slave owners while also having a lot of people that were abolitionists at the same time. The Whigs were just a dysfunctional group of people, and a dysfunctional political party as well. So they really needed a popular candidate, and they needed a popular candidate that allowed them to be able to do what they wanted to do, that could actually defeat the Democrats. And that was quite literally the only way that they were going to win. Nope, 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 nope. Let's get this mission started. And when I mean Democrats are going to win, you have to understand, this is like... I have to take out the... What am I doing? Am I taking out the guards, or what am I doing? Yep. Okay. Oh, lordy. Come on, don't die. Not yet, son. Crap, 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 crap. Come on, I can do this. Ah, crap! Oh, thank God. I was about to say.
How I missed that sensuous voice of yours.
Save the jocular comments for later. Do you see that hook above the tree?
But basically, polls had Democrats up by like 30 points. This was going to be against a normal Whig candidate. They were going to win the majority. They were going to win the most electoral votes, most states. I think at this point there's about 33, 34 states in the union, and they were going to win probably at least 25, 26. Like, it seemed like they were just dominating, you know? But when Zachary Taylor came in, it shifted everything. It seemed like... Although it seemed like desperation, and it was absolutely desperation. It was a popular desperation move, if that makes any sense. Do 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 do.
Okay, here's the situation. I've done some deep database crunching and figured out that Murray is doing time in cell block B. Getting him out is going to be tough. As you know, he's not very light on his feet. First, we'll need to get Murray into an isolation cell away from the other inmates. Second, I'll need you to get a sample of the Contessa's encryption algorithm.
It helped too that Whigs were campaigning, and specifically campaigning in the South, I would say.
Keys from the Contessa. But watch out,
They were very aggressive with it too. Millard Fillmore being a really big spokesperson for them, while Taylor just didn't really do anything. Campaign attacks against Democrat policies, many of them specifically, saying, hey, y'all started a war, you know how it goes, politics, even though they all largely agreed on it. Pointing out, like, we're not going to be this authoritarian party, wink, wink. We're not going to be doing this, we're not going to be doing that. We're not going to be pushing for things that go against American values constitutionally. Good Lord, that's a lot of missions. Crap, almost touched him. Where do I even begin? Let's begin here since it's the closest. Basically, that's just what this election is for the most part. It's just, I'm less corrupt than you are. We have the more popular candidate, and it doesn't help the Democrats, and especially Mr. Cass himself. Is just he would be constituted today, I would say, as a generic Republican or generic Democrat. Just a generic particular political individual, similar to that of James K. Polk. The only difference is Polk actually was able to do things.
Sly? Where are you?
Over here, in the back wall.
Sly! Oh, I'm so glad to see you. They've been forcing me to eat meals covered in spice, and I'm feeling kind of strange. You gotta get me out of here.
No problem. Bentley seems to have found a weakness in the solitary confinement cell. If you can get in a big enough fight, the guards will throw you in there. Trust me, speaking from experience.
Well, if you say so, I suppose a powerful force like the Murray could take down 50 foes.
Man, Murray is one of my favorite video game characters of all time.
You beat the snot out of 50 of those guys, and Bentley and I will take care of
Pretty much all these guys are my favorite characters.
Face the Murray.
You have a counter for how many butts I'm kicking right now. Oop.
That's 10 down. The Murray stands tall.
Come on, I just want to do my belly bounce.
The Murray chalks up 20.
God, what kind of prison is this? It's like a BDSM German dungeon porn kind of thing going on. Oh, that spice, bro. How many do I have to beat up?
Reversal.
But it's basically them in the South that I think is really becoming a prominent thing. Not to mention, too, I think there are certain sensibilities that people in the North did have that were very fearful of increased and expanded slavery, specifically in the Western territories. And
Oh, what? You gonna throw me in
understand that that is at least a big enough issue that it would sway specific voters. Those Democrats are very pro-slavery for the most part, even in the North as well. Many of them just basically saying this is all about states' rights. You have no business getting in on states' rights for the most part. Do you have goodies? Do you have goodies? You don't have goodies. Boo. Oops. Where did I break out of? Let's see if I can finagle this. I can't finagle this. Okay. We're gonna have to take the long approach and the long way.
Get at Murray, I'll need you to steal 2 tank keys and the tank patrol schedule off of the Contessa.
No problem. I'm an old hand at pickpocketing.
This is going to be tougher than you think. The Contessa's no fool. Since your escape, she never goes anywhere without bodyguards. You'll have to take them out one by one in order to get close to her.
I should probably use noise to lure them away from the Contessa.
Ah, crap. Well, I'm messing up already. How do I make noise? Okay, stay right there. Ah, dang, I should have gotten that alarm clock, do 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 do.
Who goes there? Huh? Where are my guards?
Two more keys. Good lord. This is probably going to be a bit of a long mission. Oh, crap. Nope. Not what I wanted to do. I think she's inside, but I'm not 100% positive. Of course, they couldn't just make it easy. How the heck do I get up there? Oh, yeah. Come on. Let me get up there. Running. God, there's so many lights. Thank God she did not see that. Oops. Okay. We're going to use some strategery over here. Anyways, long story short, the election happens. The Whigs do some, political engineering, but ultimately they ultimately get the votes that they need. They win the specific state that they need too, which is above all else the most important thing, the most important aspect. Zachary Taylor will become the next president of the United States. Ends up getting about 163 electoral votes. I think he only needed like 140 to actually win it. Lewis Cass would get about 120-ish electoral votes, which is interesting because they won basically the same amount of states. This is where it becomes which state is gonna end up winning it and be the deciding factor for you. The big one for the Whigs ultimately was the wins of New York and Pennsylvania. Ultimately, were the ones that decided basically the election, because and those were contested states for the most part. Not like, oh my God, I think I think Zachary Taylor would win those states in particular by about by a solid vote margin. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that they were winnable states for Lewis Cass had things gone a little differently for him. What you got in your pocket, son? Ooh, that's gonna be a pretty penny. Yay. Of course. Make a little noise. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Come on. Turn around, buddy. Oh, God. That could have ended very badly for me. I think he has something in his back pocket too. As far as the popular vote goes, Cass probably gets about 1.2 million. Taylor gets about 1.3 million. I should also note too that Martin Van Buren ends up basically running as well as a third-party candidate known as the Free Soilers, and takes about 300,000. He doesn't take a state, but I think Martin Van Buren definitely influences his election against the Democrats, for better or worse. This leads to some contentions with Martin Van Buren's legacy as well, I might want to add. Sneaky, 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 sneak. Sneaky, 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 sneak. Come on, give me this. Get a better camera angle, fam. Ugh. But I did forget that. That's a pretty big point, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It's like, God, who's that? I'm going to remember it when I... who was the candidate back in 2000 that shifted Florida? Or like Ross Perot, for instance, which gave the election to Clinton. It's kind of the same thing, which is why a lot of these people did vote for Martin Van Buren. And at the very least, the idea of old Jacksonian democracy, because things had drastically shifted. You know, say what you will by Andrew Jackson, but he wasn't trying to get people into wars for the most part. That's largely what happens. Zachary Taylor becomes the president of the United States, and things gets a little interesting from this point on. It also didn't help that, at least for Democrats, this is probably one where voter turnout probably helps them. A lot of these people stayed home or voted third party, but if more people voted, it might have shifted a state or two, which could have actually decided the election. It's one of those where the election is a lot closer than what it appears to be. Sweet.
Nice work. Now use that key to set off the...
Oh. I'm a silly boy.
Nice work. Now use that key to set off the security station. Okay, now climb to a good spot where you'll be able to get a picture of the security code on the monitor.
See if I can just take it from here. Ah, dang it. Did I miss it?
Okay, now climb to a good spot where you'll be able to get a picture of the security code on the monitor.
Come on, come on. Yes! Got it. Come on, come on, come on. Are raccoons supposed to be sneaky? I might be silly, but I don't see that. Maybe I can run around. Oh, there's a bell. I could use bells this entire time. I'm a little stupid. Come on. There we go. Don't know how I did not get caught there. And I just jumped into water. Anyways, let's talk about the election of 1852 while we're here. Let's get this started. This is with the Democratic presidential nominee being... where am I supposed to go? The Democratic nominee was Franklin Pierce, with his vice presidential running mate, William King. Where is the TV at? So I have to go all the way over there. Crap. Put in that code, bro. Don't know how you can see that. Come on. And the Whig candidate Winfield Scott with William Graham as his vice presidential candidate. Where can I even... That's not it. So it'd have to be like right here. Nope. It'd have to be up there. Okay. Okay, now I gotta use some strategery here. Boom.
Okay, that should be enough codes. Nice work, partner.
That's what I'm talking about. I think I'm going to stop this part right here, guys, because it's getting a little long. Like and subscribe. We'll continue soon. Promise. God bless y'all. Rock. Later.